Welcome to the Living in Utah live question and answer session Thursday evening. I try to make it every Thursday. It's just an open forum. You're welcome to ask whatever questions you would like. If you want to talk about the state of Utah, real estate, maybe talk about the United States. That's fine too. Tonight's topic, we're going to talk about electricity. After all, every home needs electricity. So it's a very important bill. There's a new article out that states Utah is expected to have the cheapest electricity rates in the nation this year, 2024. I had no idea where Utah really placed around the country for electricity rates. I mean, I've heard some people talk about some other states, but the article states that the annual cost in Utah is expected to be $1,047. That's less than $100 a month. Utah residents paid 11.03 cents per kilowatt in 2023. I guess you could look at your own bill to see if your state, if you are in another state, compares to how it compares to the state of Utah. The article states that Utah's rate is 1.5 times lower than the national average. The national average is $1,730 will be the national average for electricity around the country. Hawaii has the most expensive. They estimate $3,450, 3 times what we pay in the state of Utah. More than 3 times, actually. The state that came in number 2 on the list, state of Wyoming, right next to us. Other states in the top 10, Colorado, Montana, North Dakota, and Nebraska. All around this same little area on the map. States that will empty your wallet. State of Maine, the state of Florida, Rhode Island, Connecticut, and yes, California. California is always on the list. So that's good news for the state of Utah. Save a little bit of money, a little bit here, a little bit there. And that's one of the conversations I've always had when compare, quite a few people have moved from California to the state of Utah. And it's a couple of, it's not just, sometimes people look at the price of rent or the price of a home, say, oh, it's less money. It's items like this, the small items. Let's say you're $100 a month for electricity in Utah, but maybe you're $200 or $250 in California. Well, it's $100, $150 less. Gas is $1, $1.50, maybe $2 less a gallon. Groceries. When I go in a grocery store in California, milk is like $1 a gallon more. Meat is like $2 more. Everything in the grocery store is more. So it's all those little items that add up. $100 here, $100 there, $100 there, to add up to, significant savings. And that brings me to another subject. I was just talking to somebody that's looking to move from the state of Florida to Utah. And they were stating in Florida, you can get a home with a pool, $350,000. It's not happening in Utah. Or you possibly could, but it would be on the rare occasion. But they also mentioned that their insurance rates on their home is now over $10,000 per year. They are paying upwards of $1,000 per month for insurance because the insurance rates are so high. and they were asking me about my insurance policy on my home. I'm paying $700 some per year, not per month, per year. Breaks down to, I don't know, let's say $60, $70. So the point of the matter is, yeah, you may buy a home for $350 and your payment may be X amount of dollars. And in Utah, let's say you got to pay $550 for a home. But when you're paying another $1,000 a month for insurance, you know, you have to weigh those numbers and see where Utah really shakes out. Good evening. How is everything going? It's going great here for us in the state of Utah. We are, as far as weather goes, we just had a front come through the last couple of days that affected the whole state. Some big winds are coming through today and expected tonight, gusts up to 70 miles per hour. So far, I haven't heard of any major damage or power outages, but I'll have to check the news at 9 o'clock and see. But the winds are supposed to be out of here by tomorrow morning. Now, something to consider. I'm not too sure how this happens, but the winds are coming from the East Coast. Somehow, the storm front's coming from the north or northwest, I guess. They come around the backside of the mountain and then push through. It doesn't happen that way all the time, but it does happen from time to time. And where you get dips in the canyon, places like Farmington, Utah, down in the Lehigh area, the winds will be at a higher mile per hour. Yes, I'm good where I'm at. We had a little bit of wind, but nothing. Like I said, as far as I know, there's no outages. I did have some real bad winds a couple years ago. I was without power for 10 to 14 days. We had a lot of power out in the state. They had to bring workers in from other states to fix. And my particular neighborhood, our power is underground, all except for the end of the road where the power comes up a pole and across the street. It is not underground. Well, that line came down and it burnt the pole to the ground. So they couldn't just reattach the wire. They ended up having to drill out the old pole and drill into the ground and position a new pole. So we were one of the last people on the list to get repaired. So it's handy to have a generator. Any questions this evening that I can answer? Does Northern Utah experience the same type of weather phenomenon? Every once in a while, just every once in a while. Yeah, Logan does too. They get affected by the winds. There's a couple canyons comes through. On the north end of town, I've seen a fair amount of wind. On the south end of town, by the Blacksmith Fork Canyon, I believe is what they call that into that area. The winds come through there. Could come through there too, but it does happen from time to time. It's on the rare occurrence. Like I say, I've been in this particular home since 2005, and I've only had one storm that we've been affected by. So, as far as power outages and stuff like that, but no damage. So, I mean, I haven't sustained fence damage, roof damage, any of that. None of that has happened. And I really don't know. I mean, the biggest damage that happened on that last big storm and probably on today's storm will be trees that blow over, damage a home, damage a fence, etc., etc. I remember living in Orem, infrastructure set up the same up north. Yes, exactly the same. Exactly the same. So, yep. Okay. Any more questions this evening before I call it an evening? Hope everybody has a great weekend and take care and stay safe. And I will be back in 1 week's time. Thank you.